We are live. Wednesday night with those guys, and Wednesday night with those guys is sponsored by
those guys.
What's going on, everybody? What's going on? It is Wednesday night, and Wednesday night, as you know, is sponsored by those guys. But we got a few things to talk about tonight. But like I said before, Wednesday night with those guys is the place where we talk about everything in the drone world and promote the use of drones. So how is everyone's week going? And has everyone been able to at least get some good weather to be able to fly? We've been having a lot of wind here off and on. But I see if you got them phantoms, put them up. If you got them phantoms, put them up.
Yes, that's the only thing.
It's been really crazy though. No, it's been crazy. I wouldn't even have put the phantom up in that. But how's your week been going, Lawrence?
It's going good. There's a lot of things happening in my life, but you gotta keep smiling.
Yeah, I know how you feel. I know what you mean.
Yeah. You gotta keep smiling.
That's
I'm good. What's up with you, man? How are you doing?
Well, I'm busy. You know what we do. But I always say I always tell you I gotta keep the lawn down. Cut that grass so I can see them snakes.
Yeah. That's the way to do it. The grass get too high, you might get bit a couple of times.
Yeah, but what I wanted to talk about too tonight. What I wanted to mention was last week Ryan was here, and he was here to talk about, because it's funny, I was looking through some stuff and reading a few stories and putting together news for the stream. And Ryan hit me. He was like, "Congratulations." I was like, "What's up?" He was like, "Oh, he told me that the bill was in the Senate, and the one was in the Assembly."
Yeah,
and I remember when he had came on before, and he had gave us the preemption form letter, push for the preemption, and now the bill is in the Assembly.
That's what's up.
So
that's what's up. They're pushing it through.
So I'd like to thank those guys, and mainly in those, New York Facebook groups, to mention a few, if anything, Long Island guys, the few groups that's in Long Island, even with the information that recently came in about the Senate bill, they received that information well as getting it out to their people, So there's this Westchester droners, was it the New York drone pilot group?
Yep.
NYC 5 boroughs, those guys.
Yep.
Yep. Kurt, where you at? Long Island drone flyers group.
Yeah. A lot of New York groups stood up. They stood up.
And then, the guys here, in Brooklyn with Red Hook and, those guys, as far as, Big Matt and Cool Bic.
And Cool Bic, yep. Yes.
So, I thank you guys all, and the guys.
We thank you guys.
And what's that? The drone owners of New York. That group also, I spoke with another guy over there about, and just in back and forth, that little messages here and there in the Facebook group about that Senate bill and the one in the Assembly. So, it's being received well by a lot of the guys, and I hope it gets out. But, as far as the preemption form letter that was going around, there is in the description for this stream, there's a copy of that form letter. You can send that to your state officials. It doesn't matter what state you're in. You just send it for your state, take out New York and put your state in, and and because it's too. I think it's written out as far as that for hobbyists and 107 pilots.
Correct, for
So
recreationalists. Yeah,
so you gotta. I shouldn't say hobbyist, recreational, and it is a hobby, man. Come on, that's what guys like to do. This is what guys do, man. This is their thing. So, and it's not just New York, but that, like I said, that letter you could use it in any state. I mean,
correct.
preemption.
Your state may not be thinking about.
Well, they might even be one of those states that have the preemption laws, and it's basically mainly to try to cut down on these local municipalities for making this patchwork of laws for where and where you can't fly a drone. And if one of these days, if we let that continue, you'll have to stand on one leg and hold your drone out over the street and take off.
It's sad, but true, because guys out there now are jumping out of cars
with
trench coats. They're jumping out of cars with trench coats, Herman, looking around, launching a drone, and going back to read the newspaper.
No, but I'm saying even the guys that are working, like you doing like a real estate shoot, for instance, how can you get a shot of that house if this guy over here thinks you're spying on him and you taking a picture you're over my house? I own the world over my house.
Right.
Like it's not a basketball court, bro. You don't have position. You don't own that from your position to the top of the arena. You don't have that.
Very, very true. You have a valid point. If anyone ever tell you can't fly over my house, that's not true. I can fly past your house as long as I am not hovering over your house. You have nothing to say to me.
See, once again, that is not necessarily true, because it all depends on the intent. If I'm working, like I said, if I'm working and I'm trying to get a picture of something,
or you're
I might have to be over your house.
That's true. Like the solar panels we shot out here in Rockaway, the solar panels that we were getting shots of. Right, you had to be over the neighbor's house to look down at to get to see what we needed to see.
And the neighbor had asked me.
Yeah, he's funny.
Yeah.
That was funny.
Never mind. I won't even get into saying what he said, because it wasn't nothing malicious, but it was funny.
Yeah, he said something about the guy's solar panel. He thought we were inspecting dude's cable. Let's just leave it at that. But the comment was funny. It did make us laugh. Michael Blades, what's good, man? How are you? Let's see what's up in here. If you haven't typed in the chat, you need to type within the next few seconds so I can see who's still active in here. What's up, Michael Blades, Fly Guy Merrill, JSK Leonard, Irvin Mitchell, SJM Drones from across the pond, Logan Carpenter. Let's see who else.
Carpenter.
Mike Henrik is here also.
Mike,
Yes. What's up, everybody? 107 Barkley. What's good, man? How are you?
Barkley.
The man with a plan.
Barkley in the low post.
But like you said, in the middle of a job, if I'm doing a job or we're doing a job, we may need to fly over your house. You cannot tell me that I cannot fly over your house if I'm working.
So, but see, that's what I'm trying to say.
Especially if I have permission to be there.
But see, this is the point I'm getting at. With some of these local municipalities can put something like that on the books, and then you start losing your mind on how to do your job. But we have to moving on along with that. Last week you mentioned something about
morning, Rob. About what?
Hey, Rob, what's up?
Hey, good morning, Rob from Australia.
You had mentioned something about flight test, and this thing that they were working on.
Okay.
And I heard it again somewhere about them wanting to raise the from the sub 250 to 1 kilo.
To 1 kilo, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. What I've been finding out about it is, and I think it is a noble and valid effort that they're trying to do, because they're calling attention to themselves and the community, which is what's needed. There's a request, and the only way you can get a request out there is to band together and, hey, Marcel, and make it known you want this done.
So
what they're trying to do is they are actually, right now, the 250 gram and below, you can fly whatever you want, where you want, how you want. Well, no, that's not true. You can fly it without having to register and things like that. And they want to raise it up to 1 kilo or 1,000 grams, however you say it, tomato. And that's fine and dandy. My only issue is you guys have to stop. And I'm hoping maybe we can get flight tests on here. When I'm going to try and hopefully someone can get word to them. We can get them on here, because I'd like to have them on here. We would like to have the form that they are sending out across the country to get people to fill out, because as you see at those guys, we make sure stuff gets out there, or we do our damn best to try. But all I'm saying is, you can't fight remote ID and say we don't want to register anything under 1,000 kilograms. You understand what I'm saying, Herman? I would like to have him on here to explain more in detail how they plan on going with this. Maybe I just have to go and watch the video all the way through.
I do, but I was just interested because I understand the whole idea of the sub 250 and why everyone wanted it. And to me, it doesn't make a difference. But as far as the raising it to 1 kilo, I get with that understanding of that. I just wanted to get a copy of that form letter that was supposedly going around. If anyone could send it to me, I don't know.
Right, I mean, that they are distributing. We would like to help.
Yeah, I'd like to help with that if I can. I mean, as far as pushing it around and send it out.
Right, because we cannot say that we promote one side of drones and not another. There are a lot of those guys. A lot of those guys that they're supporting are fixed wing pilots, guys who fly those ultralights, fixed wings and stuff.
Well, I mean, from a lot of the stuff that I understand, as far as the guys who fly like the planes and stuff, but a lot of them fly in these airfields and stuff that I know here. I can only contest it here in New York. They fly in these airfields, and as far as the AMA is concerned, they would be the ones that would petition for their to get whatever they have.
Their areas to become a freer.
Right, as a whole, not as each club have to do it. It's just the whole of the AMA would do that. But as far as that is concerned, I was wondering if it wasn't in another idea to take it to the FAA as well, because maybe they might hear it or maybe they won't. I don't know how
we'll
they
see.
work.
That's the whole idea of getting it out there.
Well, from what I understand, they're going straight to Congress with it. So,
hey, Sue,
I'm interested in that. I'm interested in that.
Well, like I said last week, I need to do more homework, but you know what's been going on in my personal life this last week.
Right.
So I've barely had time to eat it sometimes this week. You know, the other night I was cooking dinner and then got a phone call and had to run out the door, cut dinner off, put it on a plate, put it in the refrigerator. And then when I got home, I didn't want to eat that shit. I wanted to eat it when it was hot, when it came out, you know? But I promise you by the next live stream, I will have either invited flight test and or watched those videos in full detail on what exactly they're doing. I would like to get him on here so we could talk about this. The same way we have Ryan on, we could bring Ryan on and have. Hey, Ryan's a great advocate for drone pilots. I'm just saying.
Oh yeah, and also, I mean, like I was saying earlier about the work that Ryan is doing. You know, he's helped out. He's got a lot of. Well, he was here. Well, shoot, over a year or so ago. He was here when the gentleman in Louisiana
Hey, Gary.
had issues, and he needed an attorney. Ryan stepped in and helped him out. There's a GoFundMe going around, and there's a fund that they raise. Hey, Angie, that they use to raise money to help fight some of these cases that happen. So if you need Ryan's information, it's also in the description. And he doesn't get paid to do this or to the work that he's doing this.
Right.
He has his own job, and he does this because he wants to help in the community. So his information, like I said, is in the description below. So if you need it, if you need help with something, you got a problem with a case, law, he's there. He'll interpret it for you. If you need legal, you know, guys, there's a lot of guys flying a lot of drones, and a lot of guys chipping in. They, you know, even your $5-10, and believe you,
right? They do have a GoFundMe page.
You'll be surprised the attorneys that they could get together when everybody in the community putting the word out with your $5 and $10, $15, $20, whatever you donate to the cause. And
I would like to mention something also. With everything that Ryan's doing as an advocate in the drone community, right now, we, and I say we as a drone community are writing the laws. With that case in Michigan where the guy tried to keep his drone, all of that stuff. His neighbor said he can't fly over his property. These places where they're shooting people's drones down. All of these are new laws that are being written in the law books. So when there's if you know anything about judges, whenever there's a law, what does a judge do? Hey, Wayne B. He goes and he looks to see if there are any other cases similar to what he has right there. So they're writing laws saying you cannot shoot a drone out of the air. They're making laws. They're trying to pass this preemptive law here in New York, so that no local municipality can say, hey, you cannot fly over this property here. Yeah.
New York already has
well, yes, but I'm meaning, well, there are other states that don't. There are a lot more states that don't, that do.
I understand. Yeah. So they're just trying to make it official that it's like, it's okay.
Yeah. Don't be afraid. Right now, some people are afraid. I saw something silly, and we'll get back real quick, on Facebook. And this guy was assaulted by a security guard. He was assaulted by the security guard. The security guard was bumping him chest to chest and trying to keep him from. The guy got scared and brought his drone down and was trying to leave. And supposedly the security guard was harassing him. What came of it, or whether it was true or not, I know not, because, you know, there's a lot of bullshit on Facebook too. But things like that, you won't have to worry about if there's a law to back you as a drone pilot. When I say drone pilot, recreationalist, or Part 107.
What law is this?
They work in it. All this is coming along.
That still won't stop somebody from bumping into you.
Oh no, a good old punch in the throat will.
Nah, you don't punch anybody in the throat. That's bad. What you do is
on to change the subject.
What you do is
I think Herman's Phantoms have moved an inch. I don't think Herman's Phantoms have moved an inch either. Oh no, They move every week. They're
I get,
workhorses.
I get the magic wand, right?
Hey, Barkley, Herman has enough new cases to stack them up to a ceiling. And I think he's got about what? You got a 10-foot ceiling?
Stop it. It's not that tall.
Okay, maybe about 8 feet.
I got the magic wand, Lawrence, in case of an emergency.
Barkley, it's not violence if you bumped into me first. That means you invaded my personal space and have touched me. It's not violence. It's self-defense.
They said in case of an emergency.
Punch and throw.
Break stick.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Case of emergency, break stick overhead. Punch in neck. Right about here.
No.
The blood flow rush to the head.
I gotta get too close. I gotta get too close.
No, Herman, I'm 6'3". I have a 3-foot reach, damn near. Easy. By the time you put them up like this, you're going to grab your throat. Warren, what's good, man? Anyway, back on topic.
But what I was saying is, I see a story that popped up, and I thought it was kind of funny. Well, it's not funny, but some might say it was funny. You know, this guy, right? Or was it over in Oregon? On some remote road in this national forest, he got
turn sharing on. Oh, it's on.
He got stuck out there, right? He got stuck out there in this road there in the snow, and apparently, you know, the cell service is trash out there.
In the mountains, of course.
Yeah, so he couldn't get anyone, you know, and besides the point of not being able to get anyone, from an article that I read, his family was out of the country. And you know, no one knew he was out there. But he did happen to have his trusty old Phantom 3, oh, not Phantom, but his trusty old Mavic 3 with him. So he had text messaged a friend and taped this thing onto the drone and hit send and sent it up far enough to where, high enough to where it could get signal and send a message.
Yeah. Now I'm putting the picture back up because that was ingenious.
And they were able to get in there and get his backside out of there.
Now keep in mind, these trees are pretty tall. In most mountainous areas, you know, when you're riding in and around mountains, the signal will go. Your signal may be blocked totally. It was smart that he took his drone and went up a couple of 100 feet, and the message was sent. He put his location and everything where he was. He tagged the spot where he was and everything in the message, and his friend received it. And those of you who ride the subway here in New York know that. You'll be on your phone, and all of a sudden the signal will go out, and then halfway into the next station or at the next station, the signal comes back. So that's what happens. When you hit send, it's going to keep sending until it finds a cell phone signal. That was ingenious, Herman. Yeah, the place was whatever, National Forest.
Hey, Gary, how you doing?
Willamette National Forest, Horse Camp.
What happened?
Somewhere, wherever Box Canyon is. But they advise you, do not go into these forests, these national forests and parks when there's bad weather, because their roads do not get shoveled.
Yeah, they don't get plowed out. So you got stuck up in there.
Yeah, yes.
He got stuck.
No, Gary, I don't think it's gonna happen, man.
He got stuck.
About an hour.
Yeah, he got stuck out there.
But Mavic 3 to the rescue.
Yeah, man.
And another part to that story you forgot to mention. While they were going to rescue dude, on the way there, they rescued somebody else that was stuck in the snow for a few days. So while they were going to his
Tell you, that's why I tell you,
rescue
Lawrence,
him,
don't leave
they
home
found.
without your drone.
Listen, yeah, I know, man. I need to start doing that. I know a few people here in New York. He'd be like, looks like a nice place to fly.
You know what's so crazy?
Yeah, don't leave home without your drone. You're right.
You know how they have certain things they show people as an example?
Agreed, Angie. Yeah.
You know how they have these, you know, it's getting popular again, the kids subway surfing?
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
it's sad. The kid got
So
killed a little while back.
right. So what does New York City do?
What?
They bring one of the surviving people who have done this in the years and past on the news. The guy is blind from it because, and he's telling his story of what happened. He was on the train, and when, I think it was, I don't remember exactly where it was. I think it was over by the Smith and Ninth area, but anyway, he
Right.
turned, and when he turned, he said that the beam on the was right there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And well, that's
So,
what happened to the kid that died.
so
A
he
week and a half
survived,
ago.
but he's blind for the rest of. He's blind. He's blind.
Wow. Well, the kid that died a week and a half ago, he was going across, you know, the Williamsburg Bridge. He was on one of those trains going across to Manhattan.
I wish they would stop.
And he made it up to the bridge, but what they don't know is above the train, there's limited space specifically for those trains. Now, I do happen to know because I used to
I
be a
wish they
graffiti.
would stop, man.
I used to be a graffiti writer. That I do know if you were ever pushed into the tracks, if you can get to the middle of the tracks between them, most people don't die when they get hit by trains. They usually lose a limb because they're trying to fight to get out. But I do know for a fact, if you get pushed onto the track and you lay down in the middle, there's at least a 3.5 to 4 foot clearance under the trains. But most people are going, oh shit, a train. And what happens? You know? But that riding the subway surfing the cars, that's got to stop. You
Okay.
saw the video of those 4
Lawrence.
kids on the train, right? Haven't you?
Yeah, Lawrence. What you're talking about is the U-shaped gutter.
Yeah. Yep.
In the
Yep. In the
center of
sewer
the
with all the
track.
muck. With all the muck, I'd rather.
Yes, if you lie flat with your hands at your side, the
Yes.
train will pass over you. Yes.
Yes. True. But
We learn that in track safety. Yes.
but like I said,
right over you.
you're not thinking that when a 90-ton train is coming at you or an 80-ton train. You understand? But each car roughly weighs about 10 tons, give or take.
Yeah, either way, but anyway.
Yeah.
You know, there's been a lot of talk about guys flying beyond visual line of sight.
Yeah.
And I'm quite sure guys have been familiar with this software because we mentioned them a couple of times before, but I saw this last week, and I didn't get a chance to talk about it, but this company was it Vodix?
Yeah.
And this safety avionics technology leader, Iris Automations, they got a partnership to that's supposed to integrate their Irish automations,
Yeah.
Casa G ground-based detect and alert system into Vodix's cloud-based system, so is that you can operate and I guess navigate beyond visual line of sight with their system, their cloud-based system.
Right.
This is we claim it's supposed to be for enterprise users, because I know with Vodix's system, you can maintain flight information from multiple drones within your network. So it's mainly, I think it's mainly focused towards commercial use.
Right. Right.
Yeah,
I think
when
I
was
believe
looking at
so.
it.
I believe
Yeah.
so also. That's definitely commercial.
Yeah,
Commercial
because
involved.
they're trying to put their system into their system. So now you would have ground and air information, which is
That's great. Except that's great because you would know when somebody's taking off. I guess that would work to its
well,
advantages.
I guess it would work because if you have teams on in the because like I said, this is basically mainly used for commercial use. So I guess if you have operations with a team on the ground and the drones in the air,
Mm-hmm.
all of that information will be broadcasted back through their cloud-based system and not just the drones that's operating in the air.
Which is great for logistics.
Right. Which is something which is almost similar to what Skybrowse is doing.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
speaking
Something
about,
similar. Somewhat
okay,
similar to them.
okay, well,
Yeah. But you know what, Lawrence? I wanted to ask you, were we
yeah,
supposed to we never got a what is it, the break our sponsors?
yeah, I
Yeah, because
agree.
Wednesday night with those guys is sponsored by those
Those
guys.
guys. Salute.
Mm-mm.
What happened? Toothache? What? That was like
No,
too cold?
no. You know the only way to drink that Ray and Nephews is to
Not drink it.
no, it's to put it in put
That's the way you drink that. Don't
put it
drink
in
it.
something.
Yeah, 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 you have to.
But you don't drink it.
Salute everyone.
Hmm.
Yeah, you don't drink that. You sip very slowly and you don't stand up fast.
Okay.
Warren said wow. You see what Warren put? No, he didn't.
What
I,
happened?
Warren said, I think Herman farted when you turned away. When you did
No,
what you did.
no,
That's what it looked like at first, like
no. The
as
the
you
Ray and
talk.
Nephews, you know how it is.
Yeah, it'd come up and go across the chin sometime.
Well, I mean, it might before the stream is over after taking a sip like that.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I
Whoa.
see. I see. Okay, you want me to put up the please stand by? Boo!
No, I don't need that. I don't need that. I don't
Oh no, that's even
but
worse. But anyway, back back to what we were talking about.
yeah, it seems like
Hold on, the door.
uh-oh. Ooh, somebody's at the door. They're raiding the place. Well, anyway, it seems like well, I've been hearing it all over the place, but and I've read, but what happened there, Gary? No, I'm good. But yeah, I've been I'm hearing talks all over the place, and I read a couple of articles because everybody it seems like it seems like certain articles, right, Lawrence, when they hit the news,
Mm-hmm.
it's like y'all got together and just wrote the same article. How did y'all all do that and put it out the same day?
Yeah, yeah. You can't use this word. You can't use that word.
No, it'd be the same shit word for word, man.
No,
But so I'm
no,
gonna
it
say
was.
so I'm
Warren
gonna
said it was
uh,
the FAA at my door. No, it
oh,
wasn't the FAA.
so I'm gonna say it my way. From what I've read, I'm understanding. No, not you. Aeroscope goes bye-bye.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
DJI stopped production on the Aeroscope. you know. The aeroscope. It was like what the first guy to the market was like. That came out like about what 2 years after I started flying.
In 17, yeah.
And the aeroscope.
In 2017,
Yeah,
this
because
device
I
came out.
remember it came out like when the Phantom 4 Pro was the jump off.
Remember, New York police
Yeah.
were flying around in helicopters collecting data from all the drone pilots. We would have a meetup, and the helicopter would just hang out there and watch all of us.
So in other words, what you're trying to tell me is the FAA already know where you at.
Come on, Herman. You remember we were flying on the beach, and we over the radio we could hear
Me
the
no
police
nuts.
say it's just a bunch of drone pilots.
I don't even speak English.
What?
I don't
Oh
know what you're
shit.
talking about.
Okay, never mind.
Which beach?
And you weren't there, and we were in Rockaway with James.
Not
We were
me.
all on the peninsula at Beach Ninth. We were out in the sand. I think John was there.
The day with the radios,
Yes,
I
yes,
was in the
yes.
parking lot.
Okay. But anyway, we were there were about 7 or 8 of us flying along the beach, and we have radios, and we usually tune the radio to a local police precinct in the event that something happened. So we had one radio that constantly listens to police frequency, and this helicopter came down the beach, and everyone brought their drones down, and we were just like kind of like hovering down low. Some people landed, and the helicopter came past us, made a U-turn, and came back. And just as it was flying over us, you hear on the police frequency, it's just a bunch of drone pilots flying drones on the beach. And they took off down the beach
See, now here's the thing.
with aeroscope.
I still say this. For the guys that's worried about with remote ID and people running up on you while you're flying,
Yeah.
get yourself a nice yellow vest and a radio that can scan the local police department and let that thing play. Let it ping out loud and clear to anybody passing by.
That's true. They usually hear the local precinct, and they just keep on their way or think, yeah. Hey, Tech Arts Drone Guy, how are you? Welcome to the live stream.
And that's not impersonating a police officer. It's called deterrent.
It's a deterrent, and you can listen to frequencies.
Yeah, I mean, you can't speak back on it. So.
Right, you're just listening.
No, you can't speak back on it anyway.
Yeah, I know.
You're just listening. The radio part on it that we use is that if, in case like you're down the street or whatever, I can hit you up on the thing and ask you where you are so I don't fly over there where you are.
Aloha, Sky Control.
Sky Control. What's good, man? Yeah, but aeroscope, I mean, it came out back 2017, right?
Yeah.
And I guess that with remote ID and what remote ID was asking for in the broadcasting of it, I guess aeroscope has reached its limit and there's no real need for it anymore. I mean, there has been a couple of different devices that come out that do what aeroscope was doing, right?
Yes. Yeah, there are a few other devices, just that aeroscope was created by DJI. And the fact that it was designed to catch supposedly rogue drones. If you want to set up a 5-mile no-fly zone, you would use aeroscope. You would use this device here. Let me pull a picture back up.
Well, it's funny because, like I said, since that has come out, there's been other devices that have come out.
Yes.
And some of them not only detect, but can interfere with your signal and bring the drone down.
True. This is true.
Actually, there was one I was checking out, and they said that they can actually take control of your drone and land it safely.
See, that's not good. That's not good.
What is it? Was it Artist, or whatever the name of that one was? I was watching that video on that it could take control of your drone and just land it safely. Like,
that was one of the companies.
You're gonna land it safely, or you're gonna crash my shit into the ground and tell me like, yo, you should.
Right. Oh, hey, I lost control at the last minute. Smash your shit into a wall. You
shouldn't have been there anyway.
Right? Smash it. Herman, do you have a TV on? I keep seeing your screen tones change. Oh, well, the fact that on the wood over your right-hand shoulder, a reflection of the TV is off that curve there.
I have yeah, it's over there.
Have some more Ray and Nephews. Jerry Franks.
No, I'm just saying the TV over there. You know what? I like this because I can see it clear and it's across the room. It's like watching a movie.
Well, hell, it's big enough. I mean, come on. That's good size. Where I'm at, I'd go blind.
I need to get...
Because it's too small.
I need to get a bigger one. So that way I can swap that one out for the, put that one in the other room and move the other one. You know what I mean? Once you start watching these big screens, you got to keep going bigger because you can't see the little one. No more.
Hey, Scott. Jackrabbit.
Scott. I didn't even see him in there. What's good, man?
He just came. He just popped in. A few people have popped in recently. Tech Arts Drone Guy, Jerry Franks, Scott, Jackrabbit, Sky Control. We have a few people here. We have a good little crowd here. And we appreciate you for coming. All I can say is the DJI getting rid of Aeroscope does not mean Aeroscope is going for good. I think they are just updating, and instead of that box that does a 5-mile radius, they're going to come out with some shit that does 30-mile radius like they did the Super Bowl.
I think that is it only limited to 5 miles? I think
the specs. Hold on, I'm going to try and find.
But I don't think that I mean, would there be an app and all this other stuff? So talking about with remote ID, would there be no reason for drone detection devices? Because these stadiums or whatever, whatever airports, they still will need to be able to detect before it's in the area, right? So, I mean, are they going to assign a guy at the airport to stand there with his cell phone? Like,
exactly, because the information I'm finding is on it.
I don't know. I mean, they still have a need for the detection devices, and like I said, there's been many that come out.
Right. You will always have
that one D drone or whatever. They all have one that detects drones. There's been a few of them.
This box has a lightning rating on it. This box can be supposedly, I don't believe it, but just lightning rating. It's not affected by lightning.
Yeah.
Which is pretty impressive. I do not see.
You never seen outlets in the street, out on the sidewalk in front of buildings?
Yeah.
Or in people's backyards and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't seem to be able to find that information about its actual distance.
Yeah, I know.
Power consumption and all. I guess that's privileged.
I don't know, but I guess that remote ID is supposedly phasing this out from what I'm understanding, and I kind of get it. I just think that there's still a need for drone detection. I mean, it doesn't zap drones out of the sky like some of these other things want to do. But I still, you know.
Well, the first time someone gets hit with that lawsuit.
Well, I think what it is that, you know, exactly like I said before, like what remote ID's requirements of what it's asking for. I don't think the DJI system was actually capable of doing that.
Tech Arc drone guy says, Herman, remote ID is expected to work for a few hundred feet. Aeroscope, which we know can work for several miles.
Right, understandable. That wasn't the question. The question was that, you know, everybody, and from what I'm understanding from what's being said, is that it's being phased out because of, you know, and most of their drones now that they've released recently within the, from going back to what, the M300 and the Air 2S, which probably was the latest of the last drones that they came out. The oldest of the drones that they come out with recent.
Yeah.
Those are all coming down to what's come out to the present, all remote ID compliant. Anything else, you're going to need a module for, right?
Yes.
So I don't know. I mean, you know, what do I know? I'm just saying, from what this is what I'm understanding.
Right. Well, all I can say is, with the way remote ID is going, if you're in the air and you're not transmitting, I'm not saying that you should be penalized or anything, but I'm pretty sure they'll spot you faster than you believe.
Well,
think about it. If everybody else is pinging, I'm here, and something comes into your airspace and is not pinging, it's going to draw attention.
Well, see, watch what I'm saying.
Because your drone should be able to see with 80.
No, I got what you're saying, but follow what I'm saying to you. Okay, everybody's talking about remote ID, right? And I'm trying to understand it wrapped around the normal daily flight. What changes? You understand what I'm saying? I'm just trying to figure out what changes for me. Physically, what changes for me? And there really is nothing that actually changes for me. Now, if I stood on the corner of Columbus Circle and asked people if they knew that there was an app coming out where they could track drones that are in the sky,
right?
I'd be the guy that's alerting them to it. Nobody asked you anything. Stop.
Yeah, my phone does that too.
So I'll probably be the guy that's alerting them to it. Now, if they came out with an app, right now, truthfully speaking, honestly, the only people who know about this damn app are the people in the community. And all of the drone communities across the country.
You're true.
If I'm quite sure if you ask the local cop on the corner, he probably doesn't know about this friggin' app.
A lot of them.
Or about remote ID. He's not going to know until the sergeant tells him about it.
You're right. Unless he has a friend who flies a drone, and even then, he probably wouldn't know about it or care. Or care, honestly. Steven Drones, how are you?
Bro, there's a drone unit here in New York, right? The police department.
Yes.
And there's a cop in the same area where they might be working. They don't know a damn thing about it.
Hey, I don't like flying sideways, Scott. You have to do that in FPV.
So that's what I'm saying too. As far as that, that's what I'm hearing, that remote ID is supposedly phasing this thing out, because a lot of the drones that they have now that are out that are all, you know, remote ID compliant, and with the enterprise drones also being compliant now that, you've come out with a Mavic 3 enterprise with the mechanical shutter.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of they're kind of trying to replace the need for the use of your Phantom 4 Pro. Now, I don't know. I think if you ask Draymond, yo, what's up, Stevie? If you ask Draymond, he gonna ride it to the wheels fall off. Where Eddie Nunez at? I watched Eddie's video. I love that video. Eddie loved that video, man. Phantom 4 Pro all the way. Still viable till this day. I say, I man say
6 years later.
This day.
6, 7 years later. Right? 6 to 7 years later.
Man, you old.
Right now, they should have sold more of those drones than anything they have out there.
Now that they come out with the Enterprise, I think they, like, if you check out Eddie's video, he had mentioned that, but that they stopped the sales on the Phantom 4 Pro.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've seen them out there for like $3,000.
Yeah, instead of going down, they're going up in price. I have noticed that.
They win fighters, man. They fight through the wind.
Mm-hmm.
They fight through the wind.
I remember flying my Phantom 4 Pro, and someone had back then, they were flying their Mavic Pros, and the Mavic Pro was tilted like this, and my Phantom was just tilted a little bit. Just
You remember coming back from Glen Island?
Yeah.
In that wind? That wind was whipping.
Yeah, we were freaking crazy as hell to be trying to fly in that damn wind. Seriously.
When you think about it in theory, like Glen Island, you got to pass
Bob
Hart
Casey.
Island. You got to pass Hart Island, and off the end of Orchard Beach, and just keep going, and go up into, what's that? That's Westchester County, right?
Yeah, pretty much. It is just past Orchard Beach, doesn't it? That does start Westchester area, right?
Yeah. Stevie would know that's where that's at, right, Stevie? Right off the end of Orchard Beach, where you pass Hart Island, going up the next body of land over there is that's Westchester, where they got Glen Island, right?
If not, it's damn sure on the borderline.
Well, you know what?
But we were fools to be flying in that wind that day. And fortunately, we were experienced enough to know to get closer to the ground, or else we're not coming back. Because when I started seeing negative miles per hour in the negative, I'm like, wait a minute. I got my stick full throttle forward, and I'm going backwards like this. You remember? Oh, he says it's New Rochelle, but yes.
Okay.
Yes. They're just starting. Right. Yeah, that was that, and I believe if it was anything other than
the drone down low.
Yeah.
So if you want to video it, put your camera, tip it down low, so that way when the drone tilts,
you can still see where you're going, right?
It'll just keep level, and you won't get the props flipping in your face.
We did, and were we in sports mode that day?
I didn't.
No, we were flying in regular mode.
Because once I got to the trees, I just dipped down in between the trees.
It was funny. The wind was whipping. It was really whipping. And when you got your throttle full speed and the miles per hour were going from 9 to 7 to 9. Then it went from 7 to 3, -1. I was -1. I almost shit myself. But like having the experience to know to drop down
Won't do that again.
just below, just above the tree line. And well, we were still pretty, yeah, we could still pretty
You
much
know
see.
what's funny about that? We got drones now that have better signal, and we won't even do stupid shit like that.
Well, just hold on.
You
Scott
know
asked
better.
a question. Scott asked a question. It's a very good question because I know someone who went to Ireland and lost their
Right.
drone over the cliffs.
Mhm.
Well, they didn't lose it over the cliff. They had crash land, but he said, would zigzag flying work? Yes and no. Yes and no,
Depending
depending.
on what you're trying to do.
Right,
You mean
exactly.
through the wind or trying to land?
Through the wind, I would guess if the wind's coming in your face like this, to go left and right. I've I've
I
done it. I've
I
done it
just
on the
trying to
beach.
find where I got the least amount of problems.
Well, see, that's
If
where you would zigzag because sometimes wind currents are in sections.
I
So it
I,
would
I
kind of
get
make
that.
sense. It would kind of make sense if you go to the left or the right, but then that's also taking, he's saying getting back. Yeah. Um, New Rochelle is a city in Westchester, Herman. That's what it is. So yeah,
Okay.
basically. Scott, I have done it with a drone. It's
Stevie, some people got these little houses out there on the water.
yeah.
I don't know what that's about, but
Barkley says he was in Oklahoma with 70-mile-per-hour winds and flew his drone away a while on the ground. Ken Heron stepped onto it to stop it from going away even forever. I believe it. I believe it. I do believe it. If you get like a sailboat, I understand what you're saying. Depending on the conditions, you could probably get away with that, Steve. I have done it, but only because where I was flying along the beach, I could see it was easier to go to the left. And as I tried coming back right to get closer to me, I would lower down. But I've never done a full zigzag. I guess I zigged. That was it. I couldn't move forward, so I turned to the side and I realized going in this direction I was moving forward. So I did move forward. It did work.
all I did was head straight for what I seen the trees
Yeah, because once we could get by the
and dip
trees,
down in between the trees and
yeah.
flew back in between the trees.
Yeah, those were the good old days. Those were the good old days. Rob and Laura Petrie lived in New Rochelle. Okay.
Okay. Well, you know what, Lawrence?
Uh,
There is well, there's a company out there that's I guess they manufacture drone parts and drones stuff because they manufacture stuff for for drones and for planes. U Avionics, they have
yes.
they came out with another solution to the FAA remote ID requirement.
Okay.
Yeah, man. Yeah. They call it the ping RID.
The
The
Ping RID.
yeah, the
No,
unit the unit is
where
supposedly
is it? Where is it?
compact and lightweight, and it's easily attachable
Here it
to
is.
your drone, right? It's a transmitter, right?
Uh-huh.
Now they say it's simple and it's effective. It's a simple and effective method.
I'm looking at the soldering joints on here and the antennas on the other end.
Where you
It's
at? Where you
just
at? Where you at?
I'm sharing the page.
Okay. Okay.
I'm looking here at the
What
Ping 200 is what they're talking about, but they
is
have a
that the
smaller.
one?
Yes, it is, but they
Or
have a
is it
smaller version.
because
This is on their actual
I
website.
thought it was the ping because they do have on their website one that is called the ping RID if you check it out.
Hold on, Ping 22.
Yeah, go.
Ping RX Pro, ping station.
No. Go up, go to. You got to go to the home page, and then you'll see there's a section where there's a UAVs or UAS. Yeah. All right. Now you see where it says there.
Ping, yeah, I did see.
Yeah.
I did see.
Okay.
Now, if it will stay here, ping RID. That's
Yeah.
what you're
There we
talking
go.
about.
Yeah. That thing. Yeah. It's
Okay.
also about $300, but they say
Here it is.
it's an easy method, right? To meeting part 89 for the remote ID compliance.
Compliance with remote ID.
Yeah.
Right.
So what you have to do, it comes configured, and you just have to like I said, it's ready to be used out the box, they claim. All you have to do is enter the drone's ID number.
Yes, your registration number.
Right, and it will transmit the drone's information to where it has to, and whatever that is that it transmitted it to, I don't know. Big brother in the sky, I don't know.
Well, apparently to a UTM, because this is why they're creating these things. I'm looking here
Yeah, it's
at the
gonna sell for
features.
about $300.
2 hour battery, 2 hour batteries. It charges USB-C and it uses
Yes.
Bluetooth 4 and 5.
Yep. And guess what?
And meets
Sounds
Part
good.
C remote ID standard. So
Yes, it does.
it shows you attach it, you cut it on, and you fly.
Yep.
So this is great if you have drones, multiple drones. You could use this one.
Easy.
You could use this one unit on multiple drones, I'm assuming.
And I was checking out a question on that test.
Here it is. Here's the photo of it.
I was checking out a question on the test, Lawrence, and that is a question on the test.
For 107.
Yes, that's a question on the test about using the that. I'm like, wow, they already on the test.
Yeah, that's good.
Ain't that
That's
something?
good. But if you want to check it out, I will copy the link so you guys can check out the website and look at the future of remote ID.
I've seen the test.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Hey, Ray of Sunshine. There's the link to their site. So if you want to know about things like that are to come in the future of remote ID, some people may not want to put a chip in every device, every bird, but this you could use this device.
Really?
Once you put in the serial number.
Why would I want to?
But it's Bluetooth capable. Stop it. Stop it right there. Why would you want to? Now you sound like those rogue pilots out there. I will never use remote ID.
I don't want to comply.
Hold on, Herman. But you remember the ones that were saying, I'll never use. I
don't want to comply.
You remember
I'm listening.
The group of people that said, I'll never conform to Lance? Well, they're out there conforming to it.
Oh, okay.
If you want to fly, you will conform. That's all. It's not a threat. It's truth. It's fact. It's fact.
Oh, well.
That's all I'm saying. Everyone was complaining, oh, they can't tell me how high to fly. Why are they going to tell me how fly to high in my backyard? How high to fly in my backyard? Blah, blah, blah. Well, you guys, if you get fucking 100 feet, you're like, oh, I can fly.
Well, you know what? I don't think they really can tell you how, if you could take off in your backyard. I would take off. Why not?
No, but I'm saying, where we were.
Are you going to fly out of your backyard?
How we were last week. But where we were last week, Herman, there was a ceiling of 196 feet, right? And your drone stopped at 192. My drone stopped at 192. I tried it a few times, but and it wasn't to get higher, but where I was trying to line up for a shot,
you did the initial joint, right? That's right.
What?
The fly safe database.
I guess. I guess. It's listen. I comply with
Phantom
what
4 Pro to the rescue.
Huh?
Phantom 4 Pro to the rescue.
Oh, and
You
not
know, you can
broken
just take
anything
off with
yet.
those things almost anywhere.
I know. I know. I know, man. I have. Well,
Flies over the UN, everything.
It does. The NAS exists in your backyard. It does, Barkley. But you.
Yeah.
All I
What
can say
happened?
is All I can say is people were complaining about the way they're complaining about remote ID. I don't want a license plate. Well, they keep telling you that the only information they're going to have is where the drone is and where it
Mhm.
took off from
Mhm.
and its course. It's not going to be able to say Herman Phantom Flight 101 is flying it. It'll have your serial number and registration
Right.
number
I get
if
that.
they need that.
Right. I get that. And honestly, and
And you're
I
flying
understand
maliciously.
about no, I understand that it's being kept in whatever system that they have in case of an emergency. They can always do whatever they need to do. I
Right.
think the biggest issue that was anybody had was that it was a random access thing that anybody could look, see a drone. Okay, where is it? But I don't think that too many people really are worried about. Oh, I see a drone passing by. Whose drone is that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Get to my app. I don't think too
Right.
many people,
Right.
unless now, don't get me wrong. There are some people who have that proverbial stick
Mm-hmm.
and they look to interrupt anybody's joy, no matter what it may be. You know what I mean? So I think, yeah, maybe if they had it, and like I said, I really believe that if we keep talking about this thing, then they'll find out about this app. But I think that drones could fly for the next 20 years before anybody else even knows, or any local idiot knows that this app exists, unless somebody gets on the commercial and puts it out there that it's out there.
True. That's true.
The average Joe does not know about that app. We know about this app, and even if it's under be an app, you know.
Yeah.
So, like I
Yeah.
said, if you're worried about
I'm not worried about it
if
either.
you're worried about anybody running up on you to steal your equipment, you gotta either keep like
You
I
need to
said,
find a new place to fly.
right, or get a radio, like I said, and get a vest and invest in some cones with some like red lights on it or something like that, and get
The little
yourself
blinky,
get yourself a whole setup. You know what I
the little
mean?
blinky lights.
Get
Tell me,
yourself
you
a
gotta have
setup, the
blinky
radio
lights.
broadcast in the local police department. They'll run up and they'll be like, okay. It's the
Mm-hmm.
police. Let's go. Let's go. It's the police. Let's go. It's the police. Or get yourself a magic wand. So when they walk up, you can start slashing and thrashing. When they start asking you to hand over your cameras and stuff.
Yeah. Either that or have a pit bull sitting in the box in the square with you.
Well, that might help. But then now the police radio kind of don't look good with you sitting there with the pit bull and the police radio and the dog growling at people when you walk up and you flying.
He's my support dog.
Just spotter?
Yeah. That's one.
That's my spotter.
Mm-hmm.
He's here to spot fools like you to walk up on us. No, but seriously, I wouldn't worry about that too much. What do you think? What do you think?
I'm not worried about it either.
I don't know. I mean, I think guys got a legitimate gripe with that.
It's understandable, but they had a legitimate gripe with land when people were saying,
But that's different.
But my point is, everything that they complain about, they wind up going along with, because it's pretty much.
I
What
mean,
are you going to let? You're
I
gonna
mean,
let one little thing like remote ID stop you from doing something you love?
I don't think that we have an issue with remote ID in itself. Like I said to you, most people don't have a problem with it. They just have a problem with the fact that any other numbskull could probably find out where they are. I mean, and I still say that any other numbskull, if they're not walking past you while you're flying, they could care two shits about who the hell's drone that is if I'm like over there. Like, you know what I mean? I don't think they're gonna be. I don't think anybody's gonna be like, yo, you heard about that new app? You heard about that new app? Nobody.
Yeah,
Nobody.
exactly.
They're worrying about that other photo app or the other dating app or the other app that does sharing your information back to China or some shit, other than your drone or whatever that anybody else is worried about. And,
Listen,
that's the thing with everybody fucking worrying about TikTok. America is funny. We worrying about TikTok and the crap that's on TikTok. Meanwhile, nobody cares about the shit that's in music.
well, you're right.
Movies and shit that people are watching.
Well, you saw the Chris Rock thing special, his
Yeah.
comedy act, right? And he says this is a very serious problem with people because people will do anything for likes. And I was like, that is so true.
Attention,
He says people for attention, right? People will dig up their nose and eat a booger for 1,000 likes.
What do you think is happening in some of these drone groups?
We're forgetting how to love each other and things. You understand?
Mm-hmm. What do you think is going on in some of them drone groups?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, he got a shot. Oh, see that shot right there, Lawrence Scott? I can get closer to the bridge and get the same shot, you know.
Matter of fact, I can get a shot of Lawrence taking that shot from off the bridge.
Right. I think we discussed somewhere that we can look up the owner's registration. We will have their home address. No, it's only going to be for law enforcement.
No. Only law enforcement will be able to have access to that if necessary. You know, and that was that, and it's funny. I think that makes it a lot easier than having to track this dude down for the long, and then some guys not being able to get caught because they just didn't. Now,
that's what it comes down to.
Now they can catch these knuckleheads that are flying over the stadiums and stuff like that, because their information will be stored.
Yeah.
See, here's the next thing that a lot of guys don't understand. Yeah, your drone will always be able to take off. Now, if you're not remote ID compliant, you just be a drone that's flying that's non-compliant. I don't know what is broadcasting to whom, if at all, anything, and what it's doing, because to my understanding, you have to be still connected to a internet connection.
Yes. You need some type of internet connection,
right? So
in order for remote ID to really be effective,
right? Because once you disconnect that connection, and I've seen this, you get that remote ID error.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know.
But I'm pretty sure, and well, I already know that these. What happened?
Was it September 16th?
Mm-hmm. Of this year. We will see. Maybe they'll prolong it for another year.
That's what I get for my birthday. Remote ID.
Yeah. Happy birthday, Herman. Remote ID. Your drone is now remote ID compliant. Happy birthday. Now beat it, kid. You're bothering me.
Go ahead and re-register the drones that you already got registered that you don't have to register.
New drone cops come out live on the streets busting those pilots. What are you going to do? What you're going to do?
Hold on.
For you,
Jerry, you know what? What they go? Hold on, I can see it now. They got FAA police cars. You've seen them, the ones that the traffic guys got with the smart car. Yeah, they have those running around, jumping out on drone pilots.
Well, you know what? I honestly think that when remote ID comes out, they will probably delegate that to local police because they would need to be made abreast of everything that's in the air as well.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, and whether it will come to fruition or not, who knows? But they will have somebody enforcing these laws somewhere because if this guy comes out
Well,
of his
you
house
remember
every
they
day,
said.
here's the perfect example.
Mhm,
Guy comes
mhm,
out of his house every day, he's not remote ID
mhm,
compliant, and he flies 3 miles down the beach and 3 miles back every day. Eventually, someone's going
mhm.
to step to him.
Probably, but you remember they well, see, it all depends how. I'd like to see how they're going to actually do this because you
Enforcing it, right?
remember they had the guy that came with was talking to us over there at the park. Was like he didn't know what the hell he was talking about
Yes.
when he came up to us about how we could fly, we can't fly there,
Uh-huh.
and I'm
Yeah.
like, dude, get it out your mouth.
Stop. I had a tear in my eye, man. Stop. I remember that dude. I remember him. He was an interesting guy. And then what did he do once he knew we knew what we were doing and we knew more than him? What did he do?
Okay, you guys
He
have a
he
nice
he
night.
badia away. He walked away,
He
right?
came with some paper talking about how he showed us the thing on his phone or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. He
Bro,
showed
get
us
out.
the aggravation law from 1948 or some shit.
No, no,
What
no.
what was it he showed us?
He showed us the thing where he saw us on when he got us on the
Oh
aeroscope.
no, the cop. Oh, you're talking
Yeah,
about
the guy
the
in the
parks
park.
department guy.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
guys.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
We were talking about aeroscope earlier and to show how it works. The parks department guy came up where Herman and I were flying from Class G airspace. We were legal to fly, and he came up from, but because there are tourist attractions nearby. In fact,
Mhm.
further in this picture, further back was where we were, but it was legal to fly there. He
On the
came
other
up
side of
behind
the
us and
bridge.
showed us the picture. It's just that he just couldn't get the words out or something, and, and he showed us the two dots where the drones took off from,
Hmm.
and that's how he knew where we were. That was it. And he said, "Bring the drones down." We brought the drones down. Actually, Herman brought his drone down, and I said, "I'm out over the water," and I was in the middle of a manual orbit around this boat. And he says, "Well, bring your drone back." I said, "I'm on my way back now," but I was actually continuing my orbit, and I finished my orbit, and I came back and landed. And he showed us a picture of aeroscope, two spots right where we were, right, Herman? And that was it.
I'm paying
He
that dude
said,
no
because
mind.
you guys are complying, because you're complying, that everything is cool. I just need to show my bosses that you guys left. We had our
Paying,
bags packed. He took a picture of our bags, and that was it. We walked away.
paying him no mind. I
What it?
went
Yeah,
there
yeah.
to take a couple of
Cops are not
pictures.
going after you. Cops is going to say to hell with that drone stuff. I have more important things to do. I agree with you,
And
Steve.
you know
I,
what? It depends. If the sergeant tells him to,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
they
I
will.
agree with you as well. Other priorities are pressing. I do agree with you a
Oh, you're
thousand
right.
times.
You're right. But
But
like I
there
said,
may be that guy that comes out of his
they're
house every
gonna
day
have.
and flies.
They're always gonna send some dude that knows less than you to tell you what to do. And
Hmm.
depending on how you interact with the guy, but like I said, we got a
Exactly.
guy that came to us and he just couldn't get it out his mouth, and I just didn't. I explained to him what I was there doing, and I'm just
Right.
listen.
And he was cool. He
I
was
came
cool
there
about
to
it.
get this picture. And this is what I was there doing, and I decided I'm going to fly around a little bit over here. This guy with that damn helicopter acted the damn fool, and I know that's what happened. He complained and cried because he wanted to get down lower than he was too low.
Right.
Anyhow, anyway, I don't care.
Frank Rizzo, how are you? Welcome to the stream. But it was interesting because
Frank
of the
Rizzo.
simple fact that was the first time someone showed me how effective aeroscope works.
Uh-huh.
Because he says and I didn't ask him. He was proud to show us that he knew exactly where we took off from, where we were standing, because when he walked up behind us, both Herman and I had took off from those spots, and we were burning our last batteries anyway.
Right.
You know, because we were ready to get out of it, because that after dark, the rats that come out the length of your forearm, you better get the hell out of there.
Uh-huh.
The FAA doesn't have the correct. The FAA doesn't have the manpower, but depending on where you are flying from, dictates whether the Parks Department will come after you or whether local police will. What does Angie say? I had a cop roll up behind me once, but I was at a bridge where a lot of parties happen. He was just curious and wanted to see. She's ready to shit her pants. I was ready to poop, though, when I saw him. No, because you know what? If you're not doing anything wrong and you don't come off as an asshole, I know that, Herman, already.
Yeah,
I picked up on that. Hey, like Draymond says, hey Draymond, what's up? LEAP.
What happened with Draymond said?
Leap.
Oh.
Yeah, leap.
I like the magic wand process better. You could make a guy leap with the magic wand.
Exactly. This is true.
But you know what, Lawrence? Moving along, what I wanted to talk to you about was we had mentioned what was it, Vodix? And what Vodix was doing, and that partnership that they had going on with the ground and the air. Right now, you remember, was it 2 weeks ago? Or it wasn't 2 weeks ago. It was a little more than 2 weeks ago. Wednesday night with those guys, 180, 189, I believe it was. Billy,
right.
When Billy came on.
Yeah.
We had talked about Skybrowse and how they had launched this situational awareness, a new situational awareness tool.
Yes.
Where they're able to track their members in real time by creating a 3D model of the area with video. And then we talked about that one.
Yeah.
And then now I'm seeing that Skybrowse now has a new AI powered tool, Midnight Sun. It is designed to provide what they call acro some it's some it's some next shit.
Well, showing the video here.
What it actually, let me tell you what it actually does. The software is designed to be able to detect objects and people and identify them. So basically what it is a facial recognition. And you can actually recognize the difference between people and other objects.
And people and cars. And
right, so you'll be able to tell that that's a car.
Yeah.
And that's a tree, and that's a person.
Right here.
Yeah.
As the drone is flying by, it's saying those are cars, and the red dots are enemy, the blue dots are law enforcement. Which is, I think, very good. Because now it can recognize
what they call it is actionable.
Yeah.
Intelligency. Yeah, that's the name they have for it.
But this is the best feature that I like. They just showed sniper.
Right. So basically what I've seen so far with them is that they're just layering on their features now. You remember, because this is a 3D model of, remember what I told you, like the last time when you talked about their ability to be able to identify their members of the tactical team or your members of your tactical team.
That was the first phase, yeah.
Right. When they did the 3D model of, you could fly the area and get a 3D model of the area, the place where you're going, before sending your tactical team in, and you can actually see them in real time once they log into their device. You can see where they are inside the structure.
Right.
Now you're able to identify the
Friendly,
difference between
friendly,
them,
friendly
right?
and foe.
Exactly.
Well,
And
it
other
showed.
objects in the area.
It was showing actually in the beginning right here. I'll let it play through again, but it shows the cops signing in on to their network after the 3D map was created. So what they do is they have the drone fly over, create the map, and upload to their cloud in real time. Then the police officer signs in to Skybrowse on his cell phone, and he becomes friendly. All friendlies are blue or purple on the map. Anything red is considered foe.
Right. And it can
So
tell the difference between people and other objects that are there.
that's what this is doing here. This is showing people. This is the drone flying this flight path after it's created the map. And it identifies blue, blue, friendly, friendly. If you see red, red is enemy. Like this is a situation they're going to show where there's supposed to be some shooting inside a building. Hold on, I have to pause it because it comes up really fast. But right here, there's a shooting in this building here. This is an officer, and these are all identified, also identified friendly. So that's pretty technical. So you can basically see where to go. Okay, there's two people in the building, or there's two people outside the building. Like Kermit was mentioning, it identifies cars, people, and other objects. Now this sniper view, check this out. They line it up on a building. Now he can pick anywhere on that map and make that his point of view. So right here, he just changed the angle real quick, and he switches the camera view as if he was a sniper looking out a window. That's creative. That's interesting, though.
Yeah.
You know,
nice
you
tool
can.
for the police department, SWAT.
Will we ever see this technology being used? Who knows?
Well, you know, it's funny. Now we're starting to see some of the stuff that we see on television catching up. Because you ever watch like NCIS and all those other programs? Like they got a person in the building and like, yo,
that's what Jerry Franks is saying. Deja Vu was a movie like that with Denzel Washington.
Yeah, I got to get out of here. How do I get out of this building? Okay, if you go out that door to the right and go all the way to the end of the hall and make a left.
We see it. We see it all the time.
There's a staircase. You can take that staircase all the way down to the basement.
You see it in the Matrix. They got to get to a telephone, right? Police are mandated to respond to calls concerning drones. Once they conduct their initial investigation, they will file a report with the FAA if possible violations have occurred. Thank you, Draymond. It could not have said it any better. But that's basically the gist of it. I don't think
get out of here, officer.
I don't think they'll have a special drone police out there.
No, not in a little smart car with the
woo. No, not in a little smart car with the little woo, 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 you know.
That dude will probably be eating sandwiches all day waiting for a drone to fly by.
Waiting for an illegal, right? You're right about that.
They will lose money with him.
Of course.
If they did something like that.
Listen, I hope it works out for Skybrowse. You need other companies are doing stuff like this. And also, Skybrowse, they use video, unlike some other
they use pictures.
3D. They use video in real time. Because remember they had the demo and we played around.
I think it's a lot quicker.
Video, yeah. Then
it's a lot quicker.
It seems to work. I mean, the accuracy has a little to be dealt with, but it's measurements are down to the centimeter. So that's a start.
Honestly, I'm curious to know because from what I understand
I still have my Skybrowse account. Let me see if they still let me sign in.
No, I understand that because what I understand from mapping and the accuracy of not from in just in regular mapping without ground points.
Right.
I'm just curious to know how accurate it gets with video, with making a 3D model. I mean, the measurement.
Well, we got to play around with Skybrows, you remember?
I know,
And
I
it
get it. I'm
was
just saying to you
it
from
was
what you
okay. Be honest, it
right.
was okay. Was
Yeah,
it the best? No.
yeah. I mean, if it's just to just create 3D models and that's all you need it for, I mean,
Right.
I don't know how great it does as far as its mapping. Doing
Right, because they did not offer
video, even with
that option.
I just think that I don't know. I don't know. It will be interesting. And I say
my account is still here.
Okay.
The account is still here. Check this out.
Maybe they're hitting up some credit card you don't know about.
Stop it. Stop. I go to get a hero and decline. Yeah, we did 5 models. I actually did did this roof here to measure see how Skybrows could measure the roof. Let's see what's up here. I still have access, and who's calling me? Hold on a second. I have to call you back. I'm doing a live stream. All right. Okay. All right. Thank you. All right. Bye. Well, I'm not going to say what that was, but yeah, I actually did a mapping of this. I did a measurement of this roof using Skybrows. And it was interesting. It has its little quirks. I was able to measure out this length here, 204. It's a total of 10,671 feet. And that's basically it. But I'm glad to see my account is still I need to go back there and play around some.
Well, it's
that's it.
It's a nice little tool for to play, for guys to play around with. I mean, I just like I said,
check your phone.
Draymond, I kind of know what it is. Draymond can contest to something like this. That with stuff like with Skybrows and what it does, more in the industry, most people will dictate to what they use, like your customers and stuff like that, the people you're dealing with, like what platform do they use is what you're going to need to use.
Yeah.
And that is that's just the nature of the business. That's one of the things that they dictate to you almost, what platform, what they need to be able to track, for you to be able to give them the data that they need, when for you to be able to transmit the data that you collect to them, so they can see what your deliverables that you have. So wow, this is tough.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, they basically the customers are gonna pretty much dictate to you what you're going to use as far as.
You see what Draymond put? He says Skybrows would do a much better job if it supported the Skydio drone, being that it has a better sensor system, and I agree 1,000%.
Well, yeah, I mean, it could, but as far as industry, what people in the industry are asking for. How many am I asking for? Sky brows. That's like, you know, when DJI had came out with was it the Terra application?
Yes, yes,
Like, how
yes.
many other guys in the industry was using that when DJI came out with that? When there was already, you know, Pix 4D and some of these other companies out there, they were operating before DJI even came out with that. Like, I mean, so
This is true. This is true. Um,
you know, so to say that, I mean, I
they're
don't.
doing something not a lot of people are doing. They're actually their modeling system. What Skybrow's real claim to fame is that it compiles the data a bit faster than Pix, React, and other programs. Yes, because they're using
Yeah, because
the
it's
the
video.
video that they're using. Yeah, yes, yeah, I agree.
Right, but see, once again, you're using video and you're flying you're using these drones that we're using. Now you're talking about taking accurate pictures, clean, accurate pictures with drones with mechanical shutters and using these things to mesh together these images to create the
Yes,
same thing. In video, are you getting the same quality image? That's my only question.
right.
You know, that's my only question to it. You know, I and that was what I was interested more in. Are you getting the same quality image? Because, you know, like I know your mapping could be ruined by not getting good quality image, and that's anything.
Yes, yes, yes,
And that's anything.
yes. This is very true.
But not getting a good quality image. That's anything. But
I'm
why is
sorry.
this?
I was trying to respond to something.
Mhm.
Go ahead. Go on. I'm back
Well,
with you.
yeah, well,
Hey, Lake
there's
Pilot.
there's a Lake Pilot. What's going on? There's a new tool out there, Lawrence, for law enforcement. And now, this is something I wanted to mention last week as well, but BRINC has come out with the, remember we had talked about this before, and we had mentioned that they were supposed to come out with a new drone, and no one had any video or anything on it. Well, apparently 2 weeks ago, BRINC did a demo of their new drone, the Lemur 2, for law enforcement and SWAT. They did this before an audience of customers and media folks.
Yes.
And they also produced a video that they released last week. So I want everybody to check out the Lemur 2. Real nice drone. Nice drone. Nice little drone. If you like breaking a lot of glass and shit.
You can hear it?
Control, swap one.
It could be a little louder, but it's fine.
Control, SWAT's arrived. We got the inner perimeter. Containment is set. I need eyes up. Is Lemur ready? 10 units. This is SWAT Lemur. Launching. One cat. CP copy. Control Lemur. Hold on side.
You're skipping a little bit. What happened?
I just got kicked.
You got kicked to where?
Sharing. Hold on. It's going back up.
Find us a breach point. We've got a 3-4 window clear for breach.
Okay. Now these guys are inside this place, and they sent the Lemur 2 inside there.
I'm in the hallway. Is it good if I
Look at
enter?
that controller.
CP copies. Shoot us some map as you clear.
And it's mapping the place. LiDAR.
Well, see, if you really want to get down to the nitty gritty of it, I really didn't. I'll tell you about it after this video because I thought this video was nice. I like this video. It's going through the house, trying to
Clear
find
for
me.
entry. CMT is standing by for two-way comms.
Look at the bumper door. Door's not closed.
SWAT Lemur,
They hit it
I've
with
got
a
contact on two side. It's gonna be a white male, black t-shirt with a gun.
Gave their description.
I'm down.
They threw it out the window.
SWAT Lemur,
After hitting
I'm
it
up.
with a bat, he
Wanna
flipped
re-enter.
it back over in turtle mode. Takes off again, and comes back and hit him with the light.
You can see we're not going anywhere. We're here to help.
Now, live communication.
Right, now this is the
Keep that
beautiful
thing
thing about
away
BRINC.
from us.
The drone can't hurt you.
All of that
I'm ready
stuff
for you
has
to walk out the
two-way
front door
communication.
unarmed, but we'll figure it out so nobody gets hurt. All right?
They make a lot of us. This is their thing. And what's the gentleman,
This
the
is
CEO and founder,
Lemur 2, built to go
Blake
in
Resnick?
first and establish community.
Yes.
Now, he was inspired to start this company because of the shootings over in the Las Vegas, that mass shooting in Las Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
And the police did not have any communications with what's going on. They had no drone in the air to see what was going on, nothing. And this is what inspired him to start this company.
Yes.
But they have
Yes.
a ball that they can send into disaster areas.
I saw that one as well.
And you can have any communication or even into a hostage situation, and they can communicate back and forth with people that are inside. You know, they make some nice tools. And,
They're doing some good things. They actually sent over a
Mhm.
series of their Lemur 1 drones to help in the Ukraine as
Mhm.
well. They
Well-
sent over a few hundred.
Well, let me
Well-
tell you a little bit about BRINC, Lawrence. Check this out. BRINC is an NDAA compliant. Their entire U.S. based manufacturing. So they say. I don't know. So they say.
They say they are. They are. Here.
Drones for public safety. Now, they this is funny because that remote we saw in the video,
Mm-hmm.
it said this is a full-blown computer. I don't know anything much about it other than what they say that it's a full-blown computer.
Right.
But I know the touch screen on it that they claim you can even, the big tactical gloves, you can even operate the screen with that. So
Oh, okay.
no fat fingering, I guess.
That's a good thing. That's a good thing. If this is going to help or keep people from being hurt or dying, I'm 100% behind it. I don't want to see a Lemur 2 breaking into someone's backyard and then walking out with flat screens. But I'm just joking. I'm being facetious. I'm trying to
Imagine that.
I'm trying to be funny.
No, but here's the thing about the Lemur 2, right? And also the Lemur, they both can fly in GPS denied areas. Now,
Yes.
this one even more so better than the other one, the previous one, because this one has a new mesh system that helps them with their signal penetration.
Yes. And in that video, they did launch 2 drones.
Right, and they have a mesh system where they can operate multiple drones and keep them both on the network, and they can see in real time back to the base station what's actually happening. That's why you see the one guy was flying, and the woman that was officer was at the base station speaking to guys inside.
Right.
So she can see what the guy flying could see.
How Ray of Sunshine saying, how is drone deployed for mapping? Well, I can honestly say, is it reliable and easy to use once you learn how to use it? Yes.
From what I've seen with from what I see with the interface and what we've done,
right?
Yeah, it's pretty easy. If
once you have the basics of
once you know
how to
what
overlap
they're asking you, and how you set all your parameters and stuff, like Lawrence mentioned, the overlap settings, and basically, it is easy.
Yeah, it's
is.
just
it's a cloud-based system for processing.
Totally.
But as far as
functionality
There's
is the word.
There's things about it. I mean, there's things about it that's
You
pretty
see
good.
what Draymond put? It's the most requested software in construction industry.
Because I guess it's been around for a minute.
Yes,
But
yes.
it is kind of easy. I mean, I've seen the DJI stuff, and if you're using DJI drones, it's even easier with the DJI drones because
Welcome home, Jody.
you know everything can be done from right there in one. You don't have to go back into the actual app to do your camera settings and stuff like that. You just everything can be done right through like the DJI app, but like Draymond said, it's the most requested. And this is what I was saying before about customers dictating to you what is needed, because that is the case. That I'm not gonna use a system that this guy can't get the information with.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. And because it's cloud-based, I guess that would make a lot of sense.
It's easier for processing on your machine and stuff.
Yes, like that. Yes. And that's the number one peeve with mapping and modeling. It's cheaper to do it at home, but you need a real workhorse of a computer. Did you practice the hypers? Oh yeah, Big Matt. I put out my first 4K hyperlapse. Thank you. Buddha bless. Kudos to you, Big Matt. You the man. You the man. Because, and if you guys wonder what I'm talking about, Big Matt in the room showed me and Herman how to do a 4K hyperlapse. And that's what's up. I did. I'll send it to you. I'll show you when I get a chance. I have to get through some things first. That's true. See, Ray of Sunshine says that's true. Customers may dictate. Mm-hmm. And it right now, Draymond says in the construction industry, it's king. Mm-hmm. And it has, like Herman said also, it has been, and mainly I believe because it's been around so long. You have other companies out there that are not cloud-based, but like I said, if you ever take a course on mapping, the first thing they're going to tell you is you better have a damn good machine to be able to handle it. Or you may start configuring that map, and maybe tomorrow afternoon it'll be finished. Norman, how are you? No, we are not. We are not going to the South Florida Drone Meetup. Fortunately, it's for a good reason, because we have a job. Those guys, Ariel has a job. But if it comes up that we complete it early, we might just hop on a plane down there with a few days' notice. It'll be tight, but we have to see. Yes, trial and error.
We can get a couple of bags of chips and stuff. We could throw it in the car and drive down there.
We're not driving to Florida on a plane.
You know, fun, bro.
I'm getting calls from the family. Excuse me.
Jeff, I want to thank you, man, for receiving that information and getting it out to guys, man. Thank you. Yeah, as far as that is concerned, we're talking about that. I mentioned you actually about drone deploy. What I was saying, Lawrence, we talked about it's all cloud-based, but you also have was that Pix4D that I think you can process that locally as well as in the cloud. You know, all your information captured in the capturing is pretty much the same. It's processing, where it processes is the issue. That's what the difference is dependent on, and what, like I said, with Pix4D or something, it depends on whatever you have. I think they got different packages and stuff like that you can process locally or you can process in the cloud. There's advantages to both and disadvantages. You know, there's different tools and stuff with some of the software that you can use to help yourself, help make it easier. And then there's some there's advantage or disadvantage. Like Lawrence had mentioned, having a computer that has a good processor, being able to store all that information. Do you want to store?
Hey, Tony.
Do you want to store all of that information? Because remember, you're going to be capturing images, putting it into a folder for that customer, and then you have the finished product, the whatever deliverables that you have for that customer. There's a lot locally that you'll be having in your, as well as processing. So you might knock your computer down for a few hours.
Few hours or half a day, depending on your machine.
That's
depending
why
on your machine.
That's why I told you I was investing in Big Bertha over there, and it's ready to work. Ready to work. At the highest the process sensitivity that you can process.
Yeah, Zephyr 3D is free. Yes. Thank you, Jody, for putting that in. I couldn't think of the freaking name off the top of my head. Zephyr 3D is free. But if you're just getting into, seriously, Ray of Sunshine, if you're just getting into or you're trying to learn about it, play around. I suggest seriously taking a course. I seriously do suggest if you're going to make this a line of work, because to invest in drone deploy, it's a monthly payment, and you need to have enough work coming in to cover that. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So it has to be able to pay for itself. And for real quick, Herman, for those who want Zephyr 3, this is the link. Thank you, Jody. Go ahead, Herman.
As far as mapping is concerned, keep in mind one thing, and like Lawrence said, it would be best if you've never done this and you're not working with somebody who does this.
Right.
It might be best that you take a course, because you will start to understand why you do things, why things need to be done, and actually how accurate the shit that you're actually doing is or is not. You understand?
Yes.
And then you will also learn how deep you can actually dive into this thing, because to be more accurate costs money.
Yes. That's true.
You understand where I'm coming from? Yeah, you can fly a little lower, you can fly a little higher, whatever you want to do. But to be more accurate, it costs a little bit more money.
Jeff Norman says if there are any Autel fans out there, he found a great deal. Good recovery one says good points, Herman. The rabbit hole can be very deep, and Draymond is deep. Draymond is Jaguar deep though. So Dre, I want to be as deep as you. We Herman and I are working to be as deep as you in that game. Seriously. I want to be Jaguar deep too. I ain't lying. I'm not. Definitely not. Paper smart is relevant here.
Because I was just checking out, like, when you want to get into ground points and stuff like that, it's like, okay, good gosh almighty, how much the equipment costs?
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Can I use my camera tripod for that?
What if I pay someone very, very tall to hold the camera like this? Or, Herman,
Stick a measuring tape out.
Your ground points, you got grandma in one corner. You got grandma in one corner as a ground point. You got your cousin at the next corner.
It would be cheaper. It would be cheaper to just buy the equipment than to do the mathematical equation. That's gonna break your rack trying to figure out the difference.
learn to fly and then learn to get good shots. This is true, Tony. That's true. It all has to do with knowing what you're doing. To me, I shoot panoramas, so to overlaps and things like that come a little natural for me.
Totally different.
Yeah, I know. I know. I'm just trying to be funny.
When a guy asks you why does your map not coincide with the road, what you gonna tell him?
No. Let's just say Grandma moved. She moved with the flag. Get back out there, Grandma. But hopefully, Ray of Sunshine, we kind of helped you out with the question.
No, but seriously,
Grandma and cousin would expect paying food. No, if you don't eat before you go, that's not my problem. You better have a bottle of water.
No, seriously. Honestly, if you've never done it before, I would honestly take a class.
Yes, definitely.
And then get out there and map some shit, some parks and stuff like that in your area. And then you know, like okay, you mentioned drone deploy.
Mm-hmm.
They have a free trial. You could do that, the process of a few maps.
Right,
Now,
but you need to know what you're doing. So
right, and you need to know what you're doing.
Yes.
So is that you can use the software efficiently.
True. Because that's what we did. That's what we did with when we were playing around with Skybrowse. That is why my best to work with survey engineering companies that does the technical stuff in-house. All you want to do is fly and collect the data. Right. So surveying and engineering
you're absolutely right.
will come. Go ahead, Herman.
No, I was just saying what he's saying. I was just saying he's absolutely right. I'm just saying you just want to fly.
Yes.
But still in all, if you don't know what the hell you're flying, then what? Like, how do you do it?
That's true. That is true.
We're at the whether or not the software is easy to use. That was the question. You know, we're at the question of whether or not the software was easy to use. And if you don't know what you're doing, no software is easy to use.
Yeah, true. But it is.
So what I wanted to get into before we get out of here, Lawrence, Adobe. They're sponsoring, or Adobe has become a corporate sponsor for the National Public Safety Drone Donation Program. Yeah, by sponsoring nonprofit corporate sponsors provide this financial backing and resources and assistance to the nonprofits actually they have volunteers and sponsors to help them meet their goals. They offer their experience, their skills, and with a company like Adobe involved like this, they're involved in software for
Yes.
You know what Adobe does. They have media software and stuff like that. And Adobe has become a sponsor where they're taking on backing this national public safety drone donation program. Now, for those who are not, familiar, we're talking about, this is what, International Women's Day?
Yeah.
Today? Well, according to a partnership with Women and Drones, they actually have a partnership with this organization where believe it or not, the drones that are donated, because you can donate new and used drones to this organization, and the drones must be in good working order with the controller and at least one battery. But whatever drones that are donated, if they are too old, through the partnership with Women and Drones, they donate the older drones to the STEM programs and STEM education programs.
Yeah.
So that the kids in these programs can use these drones in education, learning about drones. So when I saw this, I was like, wow, this is a great story to bring up. And especially with it being International Women's Day. I tried to get this on a little earlier, but somehow it fell to the back. But it was a good story. I wanted to mention it.
Yeah. Herman, it's that time. I got to get off of here and make some phone calls, man.
Yeah, I know. I'd like to thank everyone for coming and hanging out with us tonight and listening to Lawrence and I share these stories with you. Like I said to you guys before, thank you guys and all of the drone groups for getting that story out. There's a link in the description below. If you're interested in fighting for preemption in your state, to let the federal government work on drone laws. There's no reason why I can't take off from my backyard or from the corner of my block and fly over the neighborhood. Let the federal government work at that. But thank you all for coming out. Like I said, there's a form letter in the description. Sorry, there's a form letter in the description. You guys can copy that and send it out.
Change it from New York to your state, your local state.
We thank you all for coming and hanging out with us. There's a lot of shows on tonight, guys. Go and check some of those guys out. They do we'll talk about a lot of good stuff, especially later on in the evening when Eddie and Dobo come on. But check them out. Lawrence and I want to say good night. We're getting out of here. We got a few things we got to take care of, and some more important things that some real family issues that entail. So thank you, and we'll see you next time. Good night, everyone. Thanks for coming and hanging out with us.